What's going on, everybody? Back with another video, and right now we're getting ready to go. As you can't really see, but I'm at about 24% battery life left in the ID.4. And right now, before I head into work, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go and do a quick supercharge at our Electrify America spot. Right now I am here in San Antonio, and there is only one spot available at the moment for Electrify America. I did look, however, I think my wife looked and saw that they're building more. On our way from here to Houston, where we usually go a lot, they're building one in Columbus, or they have one in Columbus, and they have one at Katy Mills Mall. When you're entering Houston, and you got to drive briefly through Katy, they have one there at Katy Mills Mall. So there's definitely ones going out there, and there's plenty in Houston. But for here in San Antonio, they only have the one, and then they have also one in Round Rock, Austin, right a little past Austin, where we usually go a lot anyway. So this is pretty interesting. So I will talk about that, charging. Now, when I first went to get this car, or when I first really seriously thought about getting this car, the first thing I thought about was, how am I going to charge this thing? Right? That's the first thing I thought about. How am I going to charge this thing? And there's plenty of places that you can charge your EV, right? So for example, I said I only have one Electrify America in my area, right? But there are tons of grocery stores, or tons of little gas stations here and there, different spots here and there that have charging ports, charging stations. You can look at these directly from the ID.4 navigation, and you can select different options. So you can select to show you charging stations around your area, and you'll see a bunch of them pop up. And that's how you can kind of find any one of them anywhere. And when you look at that in terms of availability, that's what I wanted to say. What's available, you realize very quickly that there are plenty of places to go if you need to charge your vehicle. So it's never like you're going to, they're so far and few that you're gonna just run out of energy. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the myth that they need to spend a lot more time in educating people, especially at the dealerships. They need to educate people on their fear of not being able to power their vehicle and recharge it, or whatever you want to call it. We're used to getting gas, and we all know that when gas gets low, we go to the gas station. But when you have something new, such as EVs, people aren't very educated on where they can go to refuel their vehicle. So, you just got to keep that in mind. And then that was the first thing I thought about. Like I said, I was just like, okay, well, where the hell am I going to go? Like, I've seen a couple of places, but they're so far and few. Are those my only options? And that was kind of what I was thinking. So it kind of scared me a little bit. And I had to take an extra day to reconsider. Because again, I didn't want to be in that, I didn't want to be in that predicament. So it's actually not that bad. Now, this Electrify America that I'm going to is a little ways outside of where I'm used to going. I do come to this area somewhat frequently. I say somewhat. It's near where my kids practice soccer, so I'm near there 4 days a week. So it's kind of like, well, it's not too bad, but you know, I honestly wish it was much closer to my house, just so I wouldn't have to go that far out away just to charge up again. But you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. So it is what it is. But anyways, yeah, so it's not too far away from me, and this station actually has a lot of they have a lot of ports for you to plug into. It's not like one or two that, you know, you might be used to seeing kind of like at a grocery store. Now this one's, they got this one pretty laid out really nicely at a Walmart. And honestly, I mean, when I think about it in terms of how it is now, and it's not bad at all, I can only imagine if which Walmart should definitely jump on this. I'm not sure if they already have a deal with EA, which I'm assuming they probably do. I would say if you can get charging stations at every Walmart, like, that's basically like having your own personal gas stations, you know, for EVs. So Walmart can definitely break out really big. Another thing that I was noticing yesterday as I was just browsing through like EV news was that there are a ton and a lot of gas station chains, like 7-Eleven, things like that are actually selling off some of their gas stations, some of their locations, in order to just build EV charging stations on their existing platforms, on their existing properties. And so I think that's very, very a telling sign that they're starting to see the hit at the pumps. And if you are a gas station owner, the first four thing on my mind, which would be a no-brainer, would be get EV charging ports immediately, as fast as possible, because people with EV cars still have to go to the convenience store at times. Now, if you attract them to coming to your store, you're inviting a lot more business. And the reason why I say this is that as EV users, you know that when we park up, and for example, when I go park up at this place, I'm probably not going to do it today, but when you go to this place, to this Walmart location, right? When you get to this Walmart location, there's a lot of time on your hands. You got at least 30 minutes, right? At least a minimum 30-minute session to charge up, to refuel. Most people that pull up to your gas station, you know, in a regular car, we're used to like maybe getting in and out of the store in about 5-10 minutes on the lower end for most people, because we kind of know what we want when we go in there. Now, if you invite people that have EVs, they're going to be more likely to come and just go to your convenience store, because it's like, hey, I got a little bit of time to burn. Maybe not a full 30 minutes, but I got time enough to just kind of chill. Let me plug in. Let me sit in the car for about 5-10 minutes, you know, go in the store, let me grab some stuff, and then, you know, chill for about, you know, 10 minutes or so if you have that time. And then boom, you know, you're inviting more businesses to come to your store, because the longer people spend in your store, the more stuff they're going to buy. So they're trying to get ahead of the game by adapting, and I think that's smart. Just because you have a gas station doesn't mean that you're now, you know, excommunicating all you know, non-EV users, you know, or EV users. It's like, no, you still have business for them. You can still have business for them, and you still make money as a store owner. So I think it's pretty interesting, pretty great, in my opinion. But yeah, that's just my ramble. But yes, gas stations are selling their locations to put in EV spots at their gas stations. It's smart, and more power to them. But yeah, as long as they educate people on where to go, their options as far as refueling, I think it would unscare a lot of people from wanting to switch, or even thinking about it, because a lot of people just don't know, and that was me included. So the fact that I jumped in on this car before I really did like a lot of proper research, I just jumped in, and there are things that I'm finding out now that I wish I would have researched more beforehand, and it would help me, it would have helped me more making the decision. I don't think that anything that I've learned would be a deal breaker. Like I would have been like, no, I absolutely can't do it. It's just things that you would like to know before you're forced to know it after you get something, right? Try to get as much knowledge as possible before you just jump in. And other than that, really good car. There have been a lot of mixed reviews about this car. A lot of the horror stories that I've seen have come from the first edition, which was in 2021 model, and then obviously the 2022 model. There were some more issues, and it seems to be a lot of the issues not really mechanical in any way, but mainly software. And so I don't know how Volkswagen does their software updates, because I've never had an EV before. I'm assuming that companies like Tesla push out updates, or have pushed out updates more regularly than what you would expect from a competitor, such as like Volkswagen, which is huge. You know, how often are they putting out updates? How often are they putting out even like cool things like you know, software updates, like things that Tesla gets, ludicrous mode, and all these things that, yeah. Are they doing those things? I don't feel like Volkswagen is going to be doing those things. They're more they're in tune in keeping their driving base the way it is, by just introducing new models. I don't think they're trying to do anything crazy like Tesla, which appeal to everybody's fun side and what they want to do with a vehicle. So it is what it is. But those are the most things that I've seen. I'm trying to get over. That's what I've seen on the forums and things like that. A lot of the complaints, just a lot of glitches that Volkswagen seems to be very slow at fixing. Fortunately, I haven't run into any of those issues. I've had some quirky things happen, like when, like when turning down the window, and it could be user error, but like trying to turn down the window or turn up the window like really, really fast or something, you'll start getting like, I'm pressing down, and I feel like it should be going down, but it's starting to come back up. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but it doesn't seem to be as consistent in the couple times that's happened. Another thing that bothers me is I can't figure out how to get the handless rear trunk entry. There's a place that you have to kick or wave your foot by on the bottom of the tailgate underneath the car. And to me, it's a hit and miss, because it's really hard to tell where you're supposed to kick. I've gotten down on my knees several times to look under, and I think I know where it's at, but every time I kick, I'm just not sure exactly what I'm pressing. What I'm assuming is that the hand latch that you can use on the back of the trunk, how it's kind of it's almost like haptic feedback. There's no real button to press or anything, but you put your hand underneath and you kind of just cuff it and pull it. That works. I'm guessing that the foot portion on the bottom is about the same, because it works sometimes and then it doesn't work sometimes. Sometimes I'm going crazy and it looks like I'm just kicking my car in its ass, and it won't work, and I'll just have to press the button on the key fob, and then sometimes it just works flawless. So I don't really know, but it would have been nice if they would have put like some kind of color differentiation, like maybe a red or something, so you know where to kick to get the trunk open. But it's just things like that that I've noticed that are a little annoying. The other thing, I have to look at when the last time I charged my car. Like I said, I'm at 20% now. The last time I filled up was last week after I came back from Las Vegas. I came back on a Tuesday, and I don't think I filled up Tuesday. I filled up on Wednesday. I did a supercharge on last Wednesday, and I was getting very frustrated by, like, I'm a notorious, like, electronic, I don't know. Look, my electronics, I love for my electronics to stay charged. I love for my electronics to stay charged up. So like my phones, all my devices, I love for them to stay charged. And one thing that bothers me about EVs, I don't think it matters which car it is, even if I had a Tesla. What bothers me is I battery watch all the time. Even more so now that because I don't have gas. So I battery watch a lot. And one thing that I hate is that since I've had the car, is that I keep feeling like the car's using more battery than I give it credit for. You know, I don't think about things like windshield wipers, heaters, AC. And I'm here in Texas, like I said, so you definitely need AC. And I've ran the AC quite a bit up until this rainy, cold spell that we got here. And I just noticed that I felt like, damn, I feel like the car is like losing battery so fast. I couldn't, it's something I don't like to see. But again, I don't know what my expectations were that the car lasts way longer than a fueled vehicle, than gasoline vehicle. And so by saying that, I didn't really think about it up until like now or yesterday, up until now, that your driving style and how much you drive is definitely going to dictate how long your battery goes. And I'm going to fill up now, and it's only a Tuesday. So I almost made it. I'm at 19%. I almost made it a full 7 days with one single supercharge. And I think that's amazing. Honestly, I think that's great. And the reason why I say that is because not only with Volkswagen, not only do you get the 3 years, you make sure that they give you the 3 years of EA free charging. You get 30-minute sessions. Make sure you get that. But when I think about it, I've gone in almost an entire week. I've gone 6 days on one supercharge, and I have free supercharges for the next 3 years. That's amazing, because I'm literally not going to spend any money except my time to go fill up at least once or twice a week. Now, I said, when I first got the car, I was doing a lot of driving, and I was like, damn, man, I just filled up like 2 days ago, and I'm already down to like, 30-40%. So I'm going to start letting it hit the yellow before I actually am around the area that I need to be to go get recharged. But I think that's amazing, and simple fact that I'm not gonna spend any money is even more amazing, because I have felt and literally saved and seen every single penny that I was spending on my Tundra filling up at least once a week, and that was for at least $70, and that wasn't even putting it on complete on full. So $70, I would usually drive my truck to around a quarter of a tank and then fill up with about $70, $75, $80. Sometimes it wouldn't fill up all the way, but I didn't care. It was enough. But being able to see and retain that money in my bank account, I definitely see it, and my pocket loves keeping that money. And so I feel like it's been worth it. Now, one thing that I will say that most people I'm going to start doing some tests running on my solar panels to find out how much I'm drawing to charge the car at, on any given, in a 24-hour period or whatever period it is, and then seeing how much that actually costs me, and then seeing how much I'm actually paying versus if I'm not paying. Because honestly, I don't think I'm gonna be paying anything to charge at home on the level 2. I don't think I'll be paying anything, simply because here I generate so much energy on my home. It's crazy. So, but anyways, guys, I'm pulling up now. I need to clean my camera off. It is dirty and wet. I'm actually pulling up. That's a Lucid Air right next to me. This is the first time I've seen one in person. It looks really cool. But yeah. Anyways, catch you in a little bit.